So we're chatting with the guys at HAIRitage Barbershop about all of the biggest headlines.
What's up? What's going on? Welcome to In the Cut, HAIRitage Barbershop. As you notice, this is how we handle our bye weeks. We got a new platform that we sit on for our bye weeks and beyond. But I want to introduce everybody that's on here today with us. If you notice, there's a few of us on here. We got D Speed. We got my man Elijah, the brother up under the towel, the Raiders fan, #1. My man Rampage. What's happening with you? And your boy, Mr. Rik Fame. What's happening, man? What's going on, y'all?
What's happening, man?
What's going down,
pleasure
fellas?
to be here. What's up with it?
What's going on, man? We're here to talk about some football, man.
Why not? It's
yes, sir. We're going to recap some of these games going on. The first thing I want to bring up, let's talk about your boy Henry getting 186 yards and Lamar Jackson getting 81 on the ground. In that, how y'all feel about that win with the Ravens, man? And what about the Ravens? What they look like they about their business? What's happening?
First of all, Lamar Jackson needs to stop running for the get hurt.
We talked about
Second
that.
of all, he better stop running for the get hurt because it's the playoffs and the cats ain't playing fair, man. And somebody gonna catch him, man. He better start using his arm more, man. It's gonna be cookie.
Yeah.
You better leave all the running to Derrick Henry, man.
Henry doing work right now, so you need to just give it all to him. I say run a couple of times, but he need to learn how to fly. Like you said, somebody gonna catch him slipping.
Yeah, somebody gonna catch him, man. It's inevitable, man. It's gonna happen, man, for sure.
But man,
I agree with that, man. I think now I'm thinking like if you're in the AFC Championship game or the Super Bowl, I can see you taking off. But this early in the playoffs, you're right, Rik. You're right about that. How you feel about it, D?
Man, you got to understand what you just all experienced, though. You give that boy a little bit of pocket time, he can be dangerous accurately.
Yeah.
That's the program. That was the scheme that they wanted. That was the scheme that he was doubted on. Oh, he's only good with his legs. Yes, be careful. Be selective with your legs, bro. You got to understand this is a whole different ball game. So longevity matters. But recognize that dog you got over there in Henry because he going to do what he need to do.
Yeah, that's real. Because
I
think he had first half, didn't he have like 100 yards in the first half?
Man, that boy, guess what it reminded me of, though? That physical football, that's old school, big dog. That's old school. That's
real
old
talk.
school. Like, it's more more recent. You could say Marshawn, but Derrick Henry showed you some of that old school, like, bro, I'm accurate, I'm precise with my steps, but I'm still him. And you ain't going to be able to tackle me the cute way you think you are. If you're going to meet me, you better meet me with the same force and aggression I'm meeting you with. Because I'm coming.
Yeah, because I'm gonna run over you. That's real. Yeah, that's real. Elijah, did you get a chance to see that game, man, that Baltimore game?
Man, me and Cindy were watching that game, and I have to admit, Russell Wilson was out there still putting on a clinic. He got all that pocket room, and I was watching them throws, and I was like, man, like both of them were putting on a clinic. It was like quarterback versus quarterback. It takes us back to the days of Randall Cunningham versus Steve Young out there. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, some good old school football, man. That's what DC was just saying, that like, let's get physical, let's get out there, we're gonna run over these cats. Another game that I was impressed by, me and Marichal went back and forth on it too, is Jaden McDaniels and the Commanders, man. They look like they're ready to play. I personally feel that this is their start year, and we know we're gonna meet next week.
They gonna run to them. They gonna run to them Detroit Lions.
Yeah, they're gonna end up running. And my thing with that is like, as the playoffs go on, that means the game gets more physical. The game gets a little bit more where the experience really counts. So when they run into them Lions, I think the Lions is gonna put it on them. But I'm gonna ask y'all, how do y'all feel about the Commanders this year and how they really have came up in the last couple of years?
I'll start. I feel the Commanders have came up, and the Commanders are ready. I honestly think that they can take. Detroit next week.
Ooh.
And here's the thing.
Hey, did you bump your head this morning, Elijah?
No, I didn't bump my head this morning. I did.
I'm just asking you a question.
But I
why you feel that way though?
I just think that they're playing young, fast football, and I think they can do it. My head don't hurt. Rik,
he said you need some Tylenol. That's what he said.
Hey, Rik,
anybody else got that kind of vibe?
No. But one thing I'm going to say about this, I honestly don't think they're going to be the Commanders by the end of next season. I think we're going back to Redskins.
Yeah,
I'm going to call them the Redskins.
Big dog, I want to hear you talk, man. Come on, man.
By me being a Cowboys fan, I felt like they put on this year. They was kind of like the sleeper. They were supposed to be, right next to the Giants, but they came out with the vengeance, and they was on top of the league for a on top of our division for a cool little minute until the Eagles decided they want to go Saquon crazy.
Play some ball.
Go Saquon crazy. So I give it up for them dudes. They playing a good brand of football. When you playing the good brand of football, you can't deny they've been playing the good football. And Aiden Daniels has been doing this thing for a cool little minute. He was a unanimous Rookie of the Year. I think Bo Nix a little bit, but I mean, if you look at his completing kind of stuff, he was making the right decisions and he was making that offense go. Because I forgot who they had at quarterback last year, but the offense definitely looked like, and they got almost the same wide receivers. So they got to show that he was doing his thing.
I almost stopped you right as you started talking because you said something that was hecka funny. You said you were a Cowboys fan. That was hilarious. But what you also stated was facts. Here's the real, realness and the real talk of it. As football goes on, as the playoffs are here, teams understand what that means. Them old guys get them youngsters in alignment to lock in, like most depth. However, so you're going to see some stuff that you ain't going to see. You're going to see people play with a little more intensity. But against the Detroit Lions, them boys have been building over there. Them boys have been intentionally building. And I'm not saying Brown, that boy, he knows how to turn it in. He light-skinned, so people out cut him short.
Oh, Lord.
It's not his fault. He light-skinned, but he got that grit in him, and he been doing it. If you ever look at the story of who his dad was, his dad was building him different. So that boy got a little toughness over there, beige or not. And that whole coaching staff from head coach down, they raw. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah. What about you, Rik? Go ahead, Rampage.
No, like I was saying, they the way they brand the football, they play so good. They got so many injuries over there. Most people be decimated by that. I think they got like 14 guys on defense and like 5 or 6 guys now on offense, and they just plug and play right now.
Yeah. One thing, they got a hell of a defensive coordinator because that brother be coaching his butt off, man.
I got a defensive coordinator.
But he's out there on the front lines with them boys. Like, he's really out there on the field with them, man. And I think that carries over into their performance, man.
Yeah, that's true. And then, I think that, like I said, man, I think they got something to build up here for them. But I do think when they hit them Lions, man, I think it's gonna be a rock wall for them. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be like a run over game from the Lions, but I think with the experience, by the time we get to that second half, they gonna dig deep. You know what I'm saying? Because they've been the chosen ones pretty much in the NFC this year. I mean, despite what the Eagles have done of late in the last 5-6 weeks, but I think it's going to be Detroit and Philadelphia when you really, really break it down. I think the experience out of those two is what's going to create a great NFC championship week for us. Another team that look like they're ready to play, and Deed Speed, we were talking about this before we even jumped on here, all these dogs. And the Texans defense got some dogs on them, man. And I don't think people are really tripping on who the head coach is, because that head coach, he did it for the Niners about 2 or 3 years ago, and he was up under Saleh. So how y'all vibing off what the Texans did and the defense that they be playing? Because everybody want to score, but I still believe defense wins championships.
It's like we talked about earlier, bro. And it's real simple. Them dogs were created by a defensive-minded head coach. Offense, I can understand them, trying to do whatever and figure it out. But being under Saleh created a beast. Niners got to Philly. That's why I was upset when we let him go.
Yes,
that
sir.
man got a history of breeding beasts. What did you think was going to happen? It wasn't going to look as cute as it was supposed to look cute. It ain't supposed to look cute. It's supposed to look right. And it gave us a sense of old school football. When you lock in defensively, I can get my offense together, but I bet you your offense can't do what they need to do on us.
Exactly. Real tough.
Watching one of the NFL shows, and Marcus Spears said something yesterday that he said defensive line, if your defensive line is superior, and they showed that, and they was talking specifically about the Texans and the Chargers, and they, man, that line went crazy yesterday. They didn't give him no time. You see, he threw heck of interception. He just didn't have no time back there. And
it's that hard hitting, punch you in the mouth defense, bro. Like some of the rules are tailored to. I get it. The times have changed. The intensity hasn't, and some cats really know how to tap back into them old school rules. Kind of tweak it a little bit with these new school regulations, but they gonna provide that result because of what they got in them, and that's
exactly
D'Amico Ryan, bro. That was their defense. That was the Texas defense as a unit, because it wasn't no one man. Like that was as a unit, them moving forcefully, and it started like you just said, bro, and like Spears touched on that defensive line. When we punch you in the mouth at the line, you already know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, because we come in even harder, and that second wave come get you, and it's done. I mean, because I've never seen Herbert throw four interceptions, and it wasn't by mistake. It was by force. You know what I mean? And that's a big difference if you forcing them to throw into coverage like that, the way that they did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shout out to D'Amico Ryans, you know what I'm saying? Former Eagle, used to play with Brian Dawkins and a bunch of dogs there in Philadelphia. So, yeah, it definitely carries on.
It definitely does. You guys think they can carry this throughout the playoffs? Or, they got a big game coming up. They running up against them Super Bowl champs, and Mahomes.
They're going to get stomped out.
Yeah. You think they're going to walk over them? Yeah, I think it's a done joke.
Like last year.
I feel like they can't score, you know what I'm saying? When you get to that point where, like, their defense might be able to, limit most of everything you do, but everybody else that's in the playoffs can score. Their offense showed that they can't score. So it's going to be hard for them to win anything else, because all the other offenses that's in the AFC, they put no point.
Yeah, that's true. Because you can and another thing is, if your offense is on the field at short period of time, they three up, three down, and they kicking out on that fourth, that means your defense is going to be on there consistently. And at any given point, they're going to get tired by the, we get to that third, fourth quarter. What's going on, Tony?
Here's my final statement on that.
What's happening?
Real quick. What's up, big dog? It's real quick. With D'Amico Ryans and what they're doing defensive-wise, I think they have a chance, but you still going up against Pat Mahomes. So you better kind of tailor that defense a little bit differently than when you just played these boys. They don't play the same. However, And the credit that I do give them, offense, yeah, they still got to figure it out. But you going up against some old school expertise coaching, let alone
Yes, sir.
some old school expertise playing in their abilities. Them boys
That's
play
true.
different. They got the status that they got because they know how to lock in and they know when it's time to just turn it up a notch. They finna go all the way up because they just added a component, which is the power of Taylor Swift Nation. You ain't gonna
Yeah,
stop
yeah,
them,
you're
bro.
right. You're right, man. They all of a sudden
You ain't
they on a
gonna
whole
stop
other
them.
set.
Yeah, like bro, it's different.
So I want to welcome Mr. Tony Harvey to the show. Right now, we're discussing the whole project of the games of the Texans and how their defense was. How did you feel about the Texans' defense and the domination of what they did over there to the to the Chargers? But at the same time, next week they got to meet up with Mr. Patrick Holmes and the rest of the Super Bowl champions.
I think it was a good game plan, at least on the defensive end. It must have been something that they saw in that Chargers quarterback, to pull off those 4 interceptions, especially when he was doing really well, throughout the season. Not throwing that ball away, but I always thought that Houston defense was always underrated, and it has been like that for years. But now, hopefully they can prove, to at least the Chiefs say that this is going to be the real deal this time around and stuff like that. Now they may not get no 4 interceptions out of Patrick Mahomes, but they can put some pressures on those receivers and make it really tough for them. Really tough
That
for
is
them,
true.
But I've always thought that Houston's the Texans defense was underrated, but we might be seeing a different level for that. But it definitely is going to be a really good game
Most
based off
definitely,
the showing
it's a
that we
battle of the
saw.
beige.
Yeah, based off definitely that
It's a battle
based
of the
off the
beige.
showing that we saw Saturday.
Beige quarterbacks attack. We're gonna see who's gonna win. We're gonna see which beige boy is really better, and I'm gonna bet on what history showed me. That's a bad little beige boy on that KC side.
Like D Hop, this where
Mr. Mahomes. Well, my thing has always been with how KC, and we watched them this year win we could say the skim by 3 points, 2 points, 5 points, or whatever it is, one score wins at the end of the game. A lot of the games they got. But what I noticed throughout the season is that Kansas City beats you by your own mistakes. So if you make mistakes, they're going to take advantage of your mistakes. If you want to score any points, we already know that Mahomes, he can play on a gimpy ankle and he'll find a way to win. So I think mistakes that a team makes, more of a chance that you have of defeating this guy, because he's already proven. So you have to take advantage of their mistakes. That's the way I kind of feel that's a way to beat them. And plus, like you said, you got to get to the quarterback. You got to throw Mahomes off of his guy where he's trying to go with that ball. But you also got to stay on top of it because he'll find another way to get the ball out to somebody else. So I don't know, man. I think we're in one of those seasons. It's a give or take. And whoever really wants it, you got to have that dog inside of you.
You can't coach that. It's either in you or it ain't. We just see how many cats that got it in them and how they move together as a unit. When that dog is in you, you got a whole bunch of dogs with you that know the mission and they locked in. That's a crazy team, but it's also, hey, don't sleep on the underdog though.
Houston, if Houston can keep Mahomes from getting like those 3rd and long runs, that he's accustomed to.
Yeah, those hard runs,
Yeah, it could be a different. It could be a different game because like that's what I meant by them putting pressures on those Chiefs receivers. That's when Mahomes, he'll see that one opening and boom, he's gone. He can get 10, 20, maybe 30 yards on a run and stuff. If they can contain that, we still got a game. But understand, we are talking about Kansas City. We are talking about Patrick Mahomes, and yes, they don't won a lot of close games, and they do let teams are letting themselves get beat by this guy because they make their own mistakes
Right.
and they capitalize on each and every one of them too. So
Man.
Right, correct. So let's get into these little predicaments for this week that's coming up. We talked about the Texans and Chiefs. You got the Commanders and the Lions. They meet up this week. We've seen Commanders had a impressive win. Daniels didn't look bad. He kept the ball safe. How are you guys feeling about the Commanders having to meet up with the Lions, and what's that going to look like this weekend coming up?
Hats off to Jaden McDaniels. Like, real talk, that
Yeah.
boy is showing when you are when you are dedicated to your craft, what you can produce, and it can be done in your rookie season. Like that man he deserves his kudos. But again,
It
I
really
say
does.
you are going up against the Lions. From head coach down, they play with an intensity, and they have built a program over there that you are seeing a result of these boys locking in as a unit. I just said it earlier. When you do that, that's an unstoppable force.
Right.
I'm not trying to
Elijah.
discredit Jaden McDaniels, because if the Lions
Right.
is slipping,
Yeah.
he's already proven that he has the expertise. He's still got a student of the game, most definitely, but he got some stuff figured out that some coaches and quarterbacks ain't even touched on yet.
That's true.
I think
Elijah.
I think I
What?
think one of the good things
Yeah.
about this experience that Jaden is getting, because of course he's not surprising anybody. We already knew that he had the talent. He stayed in school a little bit longer than some people would expect. What did he play? 4 years at LSU or something like that, and that experience is
Yeah, I
coming
believe
through.
so.
But he's going to see a defense. He's going to see a crazy defense that was a part of, I would say, a 14 system, because the Bears defense had improved this year. Okay. Minnesota's, defense, all those defenses in that division are just like monstrous and stuff, especially
hmm
with the Lions and stuff. But if he can handle the pressure coming, from this defense, they can pull this out with this young man in his rookie year and stuff. I don't even know when a
Yeah.
rookie, won a major game like this in quite some time and stuff. But he seems to understand the game based on his experience, because he had a lot of games under his belt when he came into the NFL. Okay, that has put him in this position. So he's thinking championship. He's thinking winning and stuff like that. But
Right.
definitely,
Right.
I agree with everyone, on this. Yes, you have to give kudos to the work that he has done thus far.
Mhm.
My bank is up.
Elijah, do you feel like Jaden McDaniels? Do you think he can do it like in his rookie season and like really get to
I
the
think
Super
he
Bowl?
can. I really think he can. I think what he does is he plays smart football like he was at LSU for the whole 4 years. I think if he can go ahead and his offensive line can help him out, it's all about his offensive line. If he can get that offensive line to go ahead and stay with him, he can get some work done. If not, if the Detroit defense comes in there super hungry, we don't know what's going to happen.
Right. Rampage, how you feeling about that Detroit Lions in that Commanders game?
I would say Detroit, man, they've been having a target on their back. They've been the favorite all year, and they've only lost 2 games. So they weather. So my bet would be on Detroit. Not saying Daniels can't do it, but Detroit, they've been kind of the favorite all year. Everybody since the beginning of Detroit. And they've proven it right. So hey, I'm gonna still ride the wave and they've been doing the thing.
Yeah, they've been playing. I mean, they really have. They've been at the high until they show me different. Then I'll look at it a little bit different. I think the Commanders. I think that's when they meet their little brick wall. They'll fall in the end. I don't know. I believe it's going to be a good game. I'm not sure exactly the point spread or anything like that, but I think the Lions overtake them in the end. Now we got the Ravens, Mr. Harvey. The Ravens played like pretty much flawless game with all the Russian yards on the ground with Henry and Lamar doing their thing. How you feeling about them coming up against the Bills? And do the Bills have it this year? Can they get to that championship and finally beat them, or are they stopped by the Ravens?
Well, as it always come down to, at least for the Bills, it's going to come down to the defense. Okay, you already mentioned two key players on Baltimore. You know, they running game, and then the air attack, which is part of the running game too, with Lamar Jackson and stuff. That's something that they're going to deal with. If they can contain them or suppress them in some type of way, they got a shot. But quite honestly, I'm going with Baltimore on this.
Okay.
They seem to have a little bit more of a thirst. Uh, Buffalo, as we know in the past, they come up short. I believe this was
Yeah.
going to happen again, this season
Right.
too, because Baltimore is just playing out of their mind right now. And I mean, what really put them over the top was getting somebody like a Henry for a running back, which I don't understand what Tennessee was thinking, or
When they let them go, yeah.
and let him go,
Yeah.
and let him ride like that and stuff, and look at it, he hit to another level. Okay,
He didn't
so
want
what
to
I'm
be
really
there.
looking at there is defense from both sides and the running game and I
Yeah.
think Derrick Henry is going to be a major factor in that area.
Yeah. I believe so. Rick, how you feel, man?
Yeah, well, Derrick Henry, they let him go. He was tired of losing, man. You gotta remember they had Derrick Henry and AJ Brown on the same team together at one point, and they had a team built up. But yeah, man, he was just tired of losing, man. He was ready to go. So Baltimore definitely lucked up on that. Definitely lucked up on Derrick Henry. I'm surprised the Cowboys didn't actually go after him because they really needed a running back. But you know how Jerry Jones is, and that's not going to happen. So he went to the Ravens, man, and made them definitely a contender, a super contender now. You know what I mean? On offense, especially.
We got a Monday night game tonight, Joe.
Go Vikings, baby.
Vikings and the Rams.
Go Vikings, baby.
You got a favorite in this game? The Vikings.
Hey man, look, check this out. The Rams are they're a good team. They here. Real talk. But certain people, so that hunger, that drive, and that determination, I think Justin Jefferson finna show up and show out. That's one of them cats that when it's time to perform, it's time to put on, it's time to lock in. He's no stranger to showing you what that looks like. The degree of separation, like, yeah, bro, like he reminds me okay, let me ask you this real quick. What old school player, no matter what, knew how to make that degree of separation and still do it with class and style and just consistently? Who does that remind you? Who does his play remind you of?
Randy Moss.
There it is there. There it is there, bro. Them old school rules applies. He is a dude who knows how to create separation, got wheels, and is gonna show up when it's time to show up and show out. So
He's
unless
strong
you
and pale
prepare
too.
correctly
Don't forget about his
about what
strength.
that looks like, yeah, unless you prepare correctly and you got some boys, not boy, some men, plural, who can contain him, he about to let loose.
Yes, sir.
You can only get separation like that by strength. So
There it is.
I'll definitely want to leave that out and stuff. And he's a master at doing that too.
You also can't forget about Aaron Jones too, man. Aaron Jones been playing exceptional this whole season ever since he came over from Green Bay.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones has put up consistent numbers, rushing and receiving. So that's another bonus that the Vikings have on their side as far as offensively. Aaron Jones he's another dog, and yeah, I expect him to put up some points against the Rams. The Rams are good; they're okay. Stafford's, he's a heck of a quarterback, but I've seen their numbers decline the last few games, so they're kind of cooling off right now. They're kind of hot in the middle of the season, but now they're kind of cooling down a little bit. So this is a perfect time for the Vikings to execute and get the W.
Yes, sir. All right, so now let's go around the board, man, and Super Bowl predictions. We're gonna jump a few weeks, even though we'll be back next week talking about these past games this week. So I'm gonna start with you, D Speed, and then we just gonna round it around the clock. Super Bowl predictions and who and why within like 30 seconds to 1 minute expression.
To be honest with you, it's
Come on,
Lamar's time. It's Lamar's time.
Okay.
I'm staying faithful to that. And
All right.
then Detroit.
And Detroit. Okay.
come on,
Baltimore and
Speed.
Detroit.
What about
Why
you,
not?
Ricky?
First of all, you know what I'm saying? We over here putting mercy on people by sliding and not going and taking it to the household cats, embarrassing people. So I think the Philadelphia Eagles, Saquon Barkley, is going to the Super Bowl versus Josh Allen in the Bills.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's gonna be a Bills-Eagles Super Bowl, bro.
That's a bold statement.
That's my thing.
That's a
It's
bold
gonna be a
statement.
different Super Bowl, man. KC out of there. Casey's gonna be out of there. Bills gonna finally get over the hump and beat the Kansas City Chiefs this year.
I think that's the car fumes talking. That's some car fumes talking.
Yeah, good car fumes though. Go Eagles, baby.
Man, I'm just going to say Baltimore and everybody else, whoever else is in there. But I'm riding with Baltimore all the way on this one. I just feel that hunger. I just see that hunger. You know, the other night, I just see that hunger there and stuff. I mean,
they got it, bro. They really got it.
They just really got it to me and stuff. They have all the tools in the box. All they have to do is put it together. But I'm riding with Baltimore. This is going to be Lamar Jackson's year.
It better be.
You say Baltimore. All right, Elijah, who you got for the Super Bowl?
All right, so I had a dream, and
oh Lord, now you're Martin Luther King.
And my godmother came into my dream.
Okay.
Because she's from Buffalo, and she said that it's their year.
Nope, sorry, Godmom lied. Godmom lied. We love you. We love you, Godmom.
Elijah, you must have hit your head on that brick wall.
NFC, I'm going to have to say the Eagles. It's going to be the Eagles. I'm going to go with Rick.
Okay. All right. What about you, Rampage? Super Bowl prediction.
Yeah, Cowboy, man. I think he ain't messing with you.
You gonna say the Cowboys? The Cowboys and no.
Yeah, Cowboys. Yeah, Cowboys.
I can't even. Your prediction even don't matter. We can't hear you. Your mic off. Something.
Oh yeah, we can't hear you.
There you go.
Okay. I don't know.
It's still breaking up.
Might sabotage his microphone.
Yeah, I think the program knew you was about to be on some BS with your predictions, just like my man there said. Hey, just like my man just did. He threw his. Hey, your mic. We understand your mic issues. He ended up throwing his godmom in it to try to help his prediction. That is the most cry for help ever.
Y'all know what? You know what it is. He's a Cowboy fan. His microphone ain't working like the team. We know what's happening, man.
On top, man. Hey, they cut it off. They cut it off just like they cut ties with their coach. See you later. Bye. Hey, it's cool though. I can't talk.
It's all good though. So you said Mahomes?
Baltimore.
Baltimore. Okay. All right. I'm gonna run with. I hate to say it, man, and it's crazy, but I think it's gonna be Buffalo and Philly for some reason, man. I think when Buffalo run up against Lamar and them, I think they're gonna take advantage of it. And I think it's just their year this year. And then Philly look like they kind of want it this year. So I don't think they're gonna win. I think it's Buffalo's year when it all breaks down.
If that happens, lunch on me. Lunch on me between me and you. If that happens, lunch on me.
I think it's Jalen. I think it's Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley's turn to get the ring, man. Especially Saquon, man.
No, it is not. Lamar has been through. Look at what Lamar has been through. It's storyline.
Jalen's into the bowl, man.
Bro, so
I'm not trying to hear that.
Your point?
I'm not trying to hear that.
You are discounting the hunger of a dog who is not being given his just dues. That breeds a different beast out of you, bro. That breeds a different beast. He's always been not giving his just dues. Now you got help. Now you got Henry. Get out of here. I'm going Lamar Jackson out of the way.
Yeah. Just wait till next year, bro. You be all right.
I got to. My team out. We ain't gonna have this same conversation next year. Hey, we standing on business. Hey, you better understand where I'm from.
Y'all better. Hey, I will say this though.
All that gotta wait till next year, bro.
Don't worry about
I will say this. In our closing moments, our closing final minute on there, I will say this. Whoever's gonna win it this year, y'all better take care of this year because my squad, the Niners, we gonna rehab, get better, and we gonna come back next year. Y'all enjoy this year. Hey, I want to thank
you gotta do more rehab.
Hey, I ain't tripping on that. Philly ain't got nothing in the NFC next year, bro. We'll take care of you if the Cowboys don't do it first. I want to
next year we're gonna be talking about the Chicago Bears.
What? Okay, here we
go back to sleep.
Next year we're gonna be talking about the Chicago Bears.
You shouldn't even said nothing. You was great until you said that. My mic cut off. It was great until you said that.
Hey,
I had to throw that in there. I had to throw that in there. I understand that. I love y'all, but I got to throw that in there. You know, if it take my greatness a little bit, hey, I ride with it.
So be it. Hey, I really want to thank all y'all for like tapping in this morning, man, and coming on here. We're gonna do it again next week. Mr. D Speed, Elijah, our favorite Raider fan that's under the tail, Mr. Rik Fame, Mr. Tony Harvey, and my boy Rampage. This is In the Cut. We'll see you guys next week. We appreciate it. Until next time, one love, and it's always about that.
Peace, love, and solidarity. I'm out of here.
Yes, sir.
Peace out.